Hello and welcome back. We're up here again. It's normal working days and I've taken the week off to complete the sprint week and I've got heaps of stuff to do. And the first thing is actually to walk upstairs here and give you an update on the fly situation. Because, have a look at this. We are down to having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 flies in this room. If we look away from the smaller ones, which I can see, I've got about 7 or 8 flies in this room as well. Very, very happy about that, because that means that the caulking bead that I put around the edges, all up here on the second floor, has helped the situation massively. What I need to do is today, I need to quickly walk around and double check everything so that I don't have anything where there's a small gap, small crevice, an element where the flies can come out from. So I'll get that done now. But before I jump into that, I want to show you what my brother and we did last night when we were here, because I didn't film any of it. The reason why I didn't film was because we needed the phone for light, because it got dark outside and we had to take the power off. Meaning that we've been working with electrics. So we fixed that one there, that one there, that one here. Not completely finished, and that's because we bought the wrong stuff. This one's almost sorted, but we need to have that one corresponding with that one you see down there. I put up the railings here on the staircase again. We've done that socket there, that socket there, that socket there. And in the other room, we fixed that one. We fixed that one. So this and the two ones on either side here are the wrong sockets that we bought. But then we also fixed that one and we fixed that one. And the good thing is I've only got one fly in here as well. Fantastic. Right, and on top of that we also fixed these ones where lights hanging up from the ceilings. Here, here, there, and there. So all in all, fantastic. And in the beginning, these ones actually didn't work because we had a loose connection somewhere. There was that one that didn't work, that one didn't work, the two in here didn't work. The only one that actually worked was that one, and then I think this one, because this one in the corner didn't work either. And if you have to take a wild guess, where do you think the loose connection was? Very obviously, it was up in this one. I think we had a loose connection, and I think we had slightly of a loose connection in this one too. And that means that it runs from here to there, down to that one. And so from the one that I just showed you in the corner, over to that room, to that one you can see vaguely in the background there, to that one, and to the one that we have in there. But we got it all sorted. And another thing we got sorted yesterday was something downstairs with these ceiling panels. You can probably tell when I'm walking downstairs, I don't have any more in here. They're all gone. Oh yeah, and what I fixed was took down that panel, took over the electrics, took down that panel and fixed it, and did the same thing with this one that you're seeing right here. So let me just point to this one you're seeing right here. I did the same with that one. I did ask my brother to take this one down, and the reason is I'm not comfortable with electrics. So I asked him to, when we open up this one, to pluck it all out and plug it back in correctly. But as you can see, we have constant power on up here. I think I just need to move around some of the cables that are running into that one up here, and I will call my brother and ask how I can fix that. But before I do that, I want to go up and I want to get rid of the flies, and I can use all the power sockets here in here now, which is absolutely fantastic. I'm so happy about this. Second order of business is to add a bead of cork just to ensure that we have comparability in both floors, and I need to put that all around the edges here in the living room and in the kitchen. Once I've done that, I need to check what the next order of business is, because I think it is to start doing some of the windowsills and fixing those. So yeah, I better get started. First order of business of the day is done. I have put down a bead of cork. It's sort of an acrylic paste that you roll out, and it's white. My only concern is if it will turn yellow over time, because I don't think it holds up the coloring too well. I think it might be because I've bought some cheap materials, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I have just been looking at my to-do list for the day. I've got quite a lot of things to do, and you can see it's a bit messy, like tools and stuff laying everywhere. But my next order of business is that I'm actually going to, my plan was to cut some finishing edges for the windows, but I want to rub the windows sills in some like oil. Let me just go and pull it out. Okay, just by reading the instructions. Step number 1, sand it down. Step number 2, wet it with a wet cloth so it becomes dampened. Step number 3, give it first coat of oil. I probably need to do some prep as well. I just put some painting tape down in the corner so that I don't hit the walls that are white. Step number 4, give it a wait. Step number 5, within 30 minutes, give it another coat of oil. Step number 6, give it a wait again, 20-30 minutes, and remove the last remaining oil that's still laying on top of it with a new cloth that's fresh, and then leave it for 24 hours to settle. Do you know what? The best is just to give it a try. And I think the steps that it says here on this one also shake it well up front, so I'll get started with that. But yeah, I think I'll do that, and I will also cut the finishes that will go into these windows. The reason why I want to have this done is because after I've applied this oil here, I'm going to caulk it right round in the corners so everything's looking nice and tidy again. I think I've ended up using so much caulking in this apartment, and I wasn't expecting to do that. So yeah, that's the next order of business, and I'll get back into work. I'm sorry I'm not keeping you updated. The thing is, I've got so many things going on that I'm just so eager on getting to work. I think it's the excitement of the stage that I'm at right now. So you've seen me do the caulking bead round here in the living room, in the kitchen behind you. And then I've cracked up with some other things. Like one of the things I wanted to do was I wanted to cut these finishes. And this finish, and I can't put it on right now, has to go here in the windowsill to sort of like cover the opening that you see right now. I've cut this finishing list to length. It fits very nicely to size, and I'm going to put it there. The reason why I can't put it there right now is because I've started to oil the windowsill, and I have chosen a color that's called dark chocolate. I quite like it because it's contrastful compared to everything else being white in this apartment. I want to make it like simple, and I also wanted it to look nice. The thing is, I screwed this down and I covered up the holes with some wood filler, and I've then sanded everything down, and right now you almost barely cannot see the wood filler. So as I told you about the oil, 2 coats it's been given right now, and I have wiped off the residue oil that was laying here to avoid stains. Then I need to let this sit overnight, and then I have to give it another 2 quick coats, thin quick coats tomorrow. I'll probably just sand it down with some normal sandpaper with the right grit on it, and give it a quick one, and then I'm going to give it 2 thin layers. I've done it here in the living room, but I've also done it here in the kitchen, and you can see this one's actually still wet, and that's because I've just given this the 2nd coat of oil, and I'll have to wipe this down in about 15 minutes. This other one, I have also just given that the 1st coat, so you can clearly see the difference here between coat number 1, which is that one over there, and coat number 2, which is this one. And yeah, I think the only thing I need to do now is I need to wipe that down. I need to give the other window a 2nd coat, and then I need to be patient. And that's not really anything that I'm very good at being. But being impatient as I am, let's run upstairs, because I have also been fiddling around with some other stuff up here. Now, there are still flies and I have a plan of getting rid of them. Now, the situation is much better than what it was when I arrived the other day and when I arrived yesterday. What I'm doing is I'm still just taking the vacuum and hoovering them up. But the finishing list I wanted to put in the windowsill from downstairs, I've already put up here. And I should potentially have used the nail gun, but I've actually just put it in here and then added it in place with caulk, and I think it actually looks quite alright with the finish of how it looks. So you can see here, this is the issue I've got with the fly still. How am I going to overcome this issue with the flies? Well, I'm going to go out to the DIY store today and I'm going to buy some spray, some insect repellent kind of spray that will hopefully kill these bugs that I'm combating here in the apartment. The issue is, I think they have started living in the beams up here. So every time I vacuum them out from the window, you can see that I've got quite a few in the window here. I've got quite a lot now. Now, they're annoying. The guy I spoke to, he said that these flies are clean, if you could put it that way, whereas the normal type of fly, the type of flies that are normally in the countryside that are attracted to people's number two, if I can put it that way, they're the ones that are bringing in all the issues. Like, they're the ones that are infesting your food or poisoning your stuff so that you can get sick. These ones are not dangerous, they are clean, if I could put it that way, and I just need to get rid of them. So what I'll do is I'll buy some strong insect repellent kind of thing that will be poisonous to these fellas that are living here in the apartment, and I'm going to spray the beams here and also in the windows, and then I'm going to let that sit for a couple of days and hopefully they will not be walking around the windows, they'd be laying down dead. But now I need to go downstairs and I need to oil the windowsills a second time, and then I can call that a job done. So unfortunately I never got to record an outro for this bit, but what I ended up doing after this bit was to crack on cutting all the skirting boards to size to ensure that they were easy and simple to put in the following day. Therefore, sit back and enjoy the rest of the time lapse because I'm tuning out from here. See you in the next one. Cheers.